Hi, I'm Kasia. Welcome to Oxford Online English. In this lesson, you can learn about the present perfect simple and present perfect continuous verb forms.
What's the difference between I have done and I have been doing? When should you use the present perfect continuous? You'll see the answers to these questions in this lesson.
Before we start, do you find it difficult to listen to English for long periods? No problem. Use the English subtitles to help yourself understand. Turn them on now. Just click on the CC button in the bottom right of your video player, or if you're watching on a smartphone, tap the settings button. But now, let's start with the basic point. What is the present perfect continuous verb tense?
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Where have you been? I've been trying to call you all morning.
Have you been waiting long?
No, not so long. I just didn't know where you were.
I've been preparing for this lesson for the last few hours. I just lost track of time.
So, let's start.
Look at the 3 sentences you heard in the dialogue. Do you know how to complete them?
Look at the full sentences. These all use the same verb form, the present perfect continuous. Some questions. 1. How do you make positive and negative sentences and questions? 2. What does the verb form mean?
We'll spend the rest of this lesson answering question 2, but let's look at the first question now. Form the present perfect continuous with 3 things. Firstly, have or has. Then add been. Then add an ing verb. Let's try it now. Look at 3 sentences. Can you make them using the present perfect continuous? Pause the video and say the sentences out loud, using the present perfect continuous verb form. Could you do it? Let's check the answers.
Did you get them right? Next, to make a negative, just add not after have or has. For example, I have been working all morning. I have not been working all morning. She has been waiting there for hours. She has not been waiting there for hours. Actually, we're emphasizing the word not so you can hear it. But in natural speech, you should use contractions like haven't or hasn't. I haven't been working all morning. She hasn't been waiting there for hours. What about the last sentence? Can you make it negative? Make the negative form and say it out loud. Use a contraction.
The answer is, it hasn't been raining. Did you get it? Finally, make questions in the present perfect continuous by moving has or have before the subject. For example, has she been waiting there for hours? Has it been raining? These rules will help you to form the present perfect continuous verb tense. But how do you use it? What does it mean? Let's start to answer that question.
How long have you been doing this?
This? You mean making this video?
I mean teaching. How long have you been teaching?
Ooh, for over 10 years now. Should we take a break? We've been working for hours.
Sure. Want to get a donut or something from the bakery?
Better not. I've been trying to cut down on how much sugar I eat.
Well, how about a coffee instead?
Good idea.
Look at 4 examples of the present perfect continuous which you heard. Can you see what connects them? In all 4 sentences, you're talking about something which started in the past and continues in the present.
This can be a continuous action, something which started before now and continued without a break until now. For example, if you say, "We've been working for hours," you mean that we started working several hours ago and we've continued working from then until now. You can also use the present perfect continuous for repeated or regular actions. For example, if I say, "I've been teaching for over 10 years now," I mean that this is something I've been doing regularly, starting over 10 years ago and continuing now.
So, to use the present perfect continuous in this way, 3 things need to be true. 1. The action must have started in the past. 2. The action must be something continuous or repeated regularly. 3. You must be still doing this thing now in the present. Let's practice. Look at 3 questions.
Pause the video and try to answer the questions using the present perfect continuous. Say your answers out loud. If it's difficult, repeat your answers until you can pronounce them fluently. Try it now. Could you do it? Was it easy or difficult?
Of course, there are many possibilities, but let's look at 3 sample answers. For question 1, you could say, "I've been cleaning my room and doing a little bit of English study." For question 2, you could say, "I've been watching a show called Dark on Netflix." For question 3, you could say, "So far this week, I've mostly been hanging out at home and reading. I have a good book I want to finish." This is the most basic way to use the present perfect continuous. But there's another important use of this verb tense. Let's look now.
What happened to your hands? They're filthy.
I've been working on my bike.
Well, go and wash them. I don't want you getting everything dirty.
Why are you in such a bad mood?
I've been working on my website.
Not going well?
No. Look at the first 2 lines from the dialogue. A question. Is she working on her bike now? The answer is no, so why use the present perfect continuous here? The action has finished. It's in the past. Shouldn't we use a past tense verb?
We use the present perfect continuous here for a continuous action which finished recently and which has visible results now. Or more simply, use the present perfect continuous to explain why things look the way they look now.
For example, why are you so sweaty? I've been jogging. Why is the kitchen in such a mess? I've been cooking all afternoon. You look tired. Yeah, I've been working too much this week. Okay, now you know the 2 basic ways to use the present perfect continuous. Next, another important question. How do you know when to use the present perfect continuous and when to use the simple form?
Did you hear? Jen's getting married.
Really? That's good news, I guess.
I guess.
Well, how long have they been together? I saw her 3 months ago and she didn't say anything about being in a relationship.
I think they've been going out for a couple of months.
That's not long.
Maybe not, but I think they've known each other for longer. Anyway, she seems really happy. She's so excited about the wedding. She's been talking about it non-stop for weeks.
I bet.
Let's look at 2 sentences you heard. These are describing similar situations. So why use different verb forms? The verb in the first sentence, go out, is an action. But in the second sentence, the verb know describes a state, not an action. What does this mean? Knowing someone is a state. It's not something you do. If you know someone, then you know them. You know them today, and you'll know them tomorrow too.
State verbs include be, like, understand, or seem. Many verbs which relate to feelings or mental states are state verbs. State verbs aren't generally used in continuous forms. If you're using a state verb like be, you should use the present perfect simple tense, not the continuous. Let's test this quickly. Look at 2 more sentences from the dialogue.
Do these verbs refer to states or actions? Should they be present perfect simple or continuous? Try to remember or work out the answers. Pause the video if you need more time to think. Let's check. Be is a state verb, so it should be present perfect simple. Talk is an action. It's something you do, so it should be present perfect continuous here.
There's one exception to this rule. Want is a state verb, but you can use it in the present perfect continuous. For example, I've been wanting to see this film for ages. Actually, I've been wanting to talk to you about this for some time.
You could also use the simple form here. I've wanted. It doesn't matter which you use. In this section, you've learned a basic way to tell the difference between the simple and continuous present perfect forms. In our final section, you'll see one more important difference between these 2 verb tenses.
Haven't you started cooking yet? Everyone will be here in less than an hour.
I have started. I've chopped all the vegetables.
But the stew will take at least 2 hours to cook. There's no way it will be ready in time.
Well, you could have helped me. I've been doing everything myself, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you know what else is a lot of work? Cleaning the whole house. I've been vacuuming, mopping, dusting. I've cleaned both bathrooms. I haven't just been sitting around all day.
Okay, well, have you finished? Can you give me a hand now?
Sure, I'm free now. What needs doing?
Actually, you know what? We've run out of milk. Could you pop out and get some?
Yeah, okay. Look at a sentence you heard. Let's add another one. These are both possible, but they have slightly different meanings. Can you explain the difference?
The first sentence, with the present perfect simple, focuses on the result of the action. Using this simple form shows that you have finished this and there is a result. In this case, the vegetables are chopped and ready to go in the stew. The second sentence, with the present perfect continuous, focuses on the process. If you say, I've been chopping the vegetables, there's no clear result. Using the continuous form simply shows that you've spent time on this thing and you're probably not finished. Let's practice this point. Look at 4 sentences.
Here's a task for you. In these sentences, can you use the present perfect simple or the continuous or both? If both are possible, is the meaning the same or different? Pause the video and think about your ideas. Take your time. Start again when you're ready. Okay, let's look together. In number 1, only the simple form is possible. This is because there's a number you've called 5 times, which shows a clear result.
In sentence 2, both are possible, but the continuous is more likely. There's no difference in meaning. This is because you still haven't arrived, so there's no result. Probably you want to focus on the process, meaning how much time you've spent driving.
In sentence 3, both are possible with little difference in meaning. This is because you can focus on the result, you finish watching many documentaries, or you can focus on the process, you've spent time watching nature documentaries. Confusing? Don't worry about it. Here, the basic meaning is the same, whichever form you use.
In sentence 4, both are possible, but here the meaning would be different. If you say, I've made a soup for lunch, then you've finished cooking and the soup is ready to eat. If you use the continuous form, then you probably haven't finished. I've spent some time cooking, but there's probably no result, meaning no soup. Maybe you're thinking, why probably? It's a good question.
It's because the sentence just doesn't contain that information. If you say, I've been making soup for lunch, there's no information about whether you've finished or not. But if you had finished, you'd almost certainly use the present perfect simple. I've made a soup. So using the continuous strongly suggests that you haven't finished. That's all. Thanks for watching.
See you next time!